Hey, welcome to this episode of the Ever Black Nerdcast. On this show, we talk to voice actor, author, relationship coach, and man of many talents, Spike Spencer, most well known as the voice of Shinji Ikari in Neon Genesis Evangelion, which is just huge and has a massive global following. Spike is heading down here for Supanova in Melbourne and the Gold Coast to meet fans and sign all your cool stuff. And I've got to say, he was really, really fun to hang out with and talk anime and his voice work and heaps more. I can't wait to see him on the Gold Coast, actually. He's a really, really great guy. You can meet the man himself along with a ton of other great guests at Supanova Comic Con and Gaming Expo, March 6th to 8th in Melbourne, and Gold Coast March 13 and 14. Tickets are on sale now through supanova.com.au. And there is also a special limited edition Central Dogma Pass where you can get admission to the whole weekend of the con, get your stuff signed, as well as a group photo with Spike, Tiffany Grant, and Amanda Wynn Lee, a special edition pin, and more. It's pretty damn epic, so get onto it if you're a massive Evangelion fan. I know I wouldn't want to miss out on that one. All right, before we go into this episode, I just want to give a shout out to our good friends at Blacklight Art and Design, who are our go-to for all our screen printing needs. They do shirts, hats, patches, you name it. If you can wear it, they can print it. They've done all our shirts and hats for Ever Black Media. Shout out to those guys. Love your work. www.blacklightad.com.au. The show is also brought to you by our good friends at RW Promotion, who are the best in the biz when it comes to stickers, flyers, banners, badges, and all other promo you need for your band or business. Go check them out at www.rwpromotion.com.au. Thank you, Rich. You're always a great supporter of the show. Just going to add that in. Richard, top dude. Also want to recommend the new occult clothing brand Electric Witch, who have just been kicking ass since they launched. If you love things that are on the darker side of life, you need to check out their apparel. I'm a big fan of their Death Dealer shirt and the new Bloodsucker shirt that I recently got. It's really, really cool. So check them out at www.electricwitch.com.au and throw them a like on Facebook and help them spread the word because they are Australian. So, support the locals. Don't forget to subscribe to the Ever Black podcast through iTunes Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, YouTube, and Facebook. And check out all our reviews and articles at www.everblackmedia.com. And like us on all the socials and swing us a message. We like saying hi to you guys, and we appreciate all the feedback and love for the interviews. All right, here is my chat with Spike Spencer. Go get your tickets to Supanova. It's going to be a kick-ass weekend if you're in Melbourne or the Gold Coast. Come say hi to us on the Gold Coast. We'll be there running around. Horns high or controllers high. Enjoy, people.
Spike, how are you, man?
I'm extraordinary. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing real well. Thanks for joining us on the show.
My pleasure.
Well, you're coming down to Australia this March for Supanova Melbourne and Gold Coast. How many times have you been here in the past, man?
This will be my 8th time to come down, and I have driven all over, and I love it. I love Australia.
So you'd probably be fairly familiar with everything now. You might as well just move here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, especially the drop bears.
Yes. Yeah, they're the worst. The worst. Well, of course, I mean, when you're down here doing the conventions and stuff, you do hours and hours of signing. How do you even prepare for that? I was thinking about that last night. You guys sit there and you've got to sign for so long. I signed one bit of paper and I'm tired. How do you do exercises in your hands to get them going for the day?
Most of us just drink heavily. You know, it's just how you roll. No, it's fine. It's, you know, you've done it so many times. It's not hard. You don't really write a lot. You get a big fluid flourish, and it works out pretty well.
Excellent. Well, of course, man, your voice credits, man, looking at it, it's just insanely huge. Do you ever just sit there and go through your IMDb and go, man, I've achieved so much in this lifetime that, you know, all these epic stories, you know, have you ever sort of sat there and realized how much you've actually done?
Actually, no. I mean, on IMDb it shows a bunch, but that's only about half, actually. There's a lot that doesn't get up there, but, you know, no, I'm looking for the next one. You know, I love doing what I do, so I've got a lot more to do. I haven't even gotten the stuff that I really want to do yet.
What do you really want to do? What's on your bucket list?
Oh, like I guess you would say the top of the top things like The Simpsons, South Park, Family Guy, Bob's Burgers, the original animations. Those are just the top of the top, and I love doing original animation.
Have you auditioned for that stuff? Is that stuff you're hunting?
Yeah, I mean, it comes across every now and then, but I just haven't quite clicked yet, but it will be happening. I have spoken.
Absolutely, man. You got to put that out there. And, of course, I mean, you're pretty well known for your voicing legendary characters, but I guess a big one is Shinji from Neon Genesis Evangelion. But in Evangelion, I can never say it right. All these years, I can never say it right.
I know. It's Evangelion.
Evangelion. I got mates that are going to kill me for that. But that thing was massive. I mean, how did it change your life being part of that?
It's funny when people say that. They know it now, but see, we did it back in like 95. It wasn't big. It was nothing. It was, it was a show, and we thought it was cool, and we really dug it, and we did it, and that was it. Made a little bit of money and never really thought about it. Then later on, they're like, oh, here are these other, movies, Death and Rebirth and some other things. And we're like, wow, what the hell's going on? We don't know. Say things. Okay. And so we did those, and then they went away. And then that was pretty much it. And I didn't really think about it until I moved out to L.A., and somebody told me, hey, you could go to conventions because you're kind of famous. I was like, I had no idea. Really? Yeah. And then whammo, I'm traveling all over the world. I'm like, holy crap, it is big. People know this thing. We had no idea when we did it. And then, of course, the 3 movies, the rebuild, so those are nice. But I just, I fly to Dallas, do my thing for a day, and then I come home, and then it's over.
What a life, dude. Have you ever been to Japan and gotten reaction from fans there, even though, you did the English dub? I'm sure they'd be aware of it over there. Do you get a lot of love from Japan being part of it? I
went to Japan, back in early 2000s or so, and I didn't realize, and Ava wasn't so popular then. Now there's like bullet trains, and I think there's a Godzilla versus Ava. I mean, it's crazy. It's nuts over there. But they've never really cared that much who does the English voices, but now, like just last year, there was a big convention where a lot of English voice actors went over there. So I'm getting on the radar for that, for sure, because I love Japan.
That's super exciting, dude. How good is that? I mean, because anime goes incredibly deep. I mean, I know people that really go down the rabbit hole and know everything, all the stories, characters, about even really underground stuff. And have you ever gotten into one yourself? You've gotten hooked on one particular?
It's funny because I don't, because I do, it's my work, my job. And I'm working on other businesses. I've got other things going on.
Cool.
And so if I, went down the rabbit hole with that, I'd be like, I wouldn't, like people say, why don't you video game? I love video games. If I played them, I'd never leave my house, and I got things to do.
That's
so
right.
People say, when they say, what's your favorite one, I always go back to the old school, was Golden Boy many, many years ago. And I had so much fun working on that because I was in it and all my friends were in it and we were all a family, and it was really super cool. So I've always go back to that.
As an actor, do you find that, when you first started doing, I'm having trouble today, sorry, man. Not even lunch, I can't even talk.
No worries, mate.
Let me back that up. Let me reverse that. As an actor, did you find when you first started doing the anime stuff that, you had to wrap your head around it and the approach of the vocal performances differently and compared to mainstream roles? Different approach, do you find?
Yeah, well, actually, no, because when I got started, this was in Houston, Texas, in the mid-'90s, and I was an actor. I was doing on-screen radio, TV, whatever, and I was actually in a live-action film with Amanda Wynn Lee, who plays Ray in the original, and directed and helped with the scripting. And so she said, hey, come do this anime thing. And I'm like, I had no idea what it was, except I knew what Speed Racer was, and, I loved Ultraman. I'm like, yeah, let's talk. And so I went, and I didn't even know what ADR was at the time, and it was not like it is today. There were no 3 beeps. It was, okay, here's the mouth flaps. We're going to start and, match them. And it was hard. and it was just another acting job because I did know in movies you do ADR after you film the movie. So it's a skill you need to pick up. So I just said, okay, we approached everything as an acting role. So Evangelion we were deep on acting. I mean, I'm screaming and crying in the booth and, you know, and all that. And we were going for it. So, I mean, it definitely has a role in my heart.
Have you had a role that you found was quite emotionally or vocally taxing on you or hard to tackle?
Evangelion, yeah. That's the one. Yeah, there not too many of them were as deep. That's the deepest one I've ever dealt with. And I think that's why it resonates so well with people. You know, I've had people worldwide tell me that, you know, it helped them get through a time that was rough in their life. And, you know, I've always appreciated that because they felt the struggle in me, in my performance, and they understand Shinji's struggle. So they have a kinship with that character, and it bonds quite a lot of people.
And it's generational now too, man. Like, have you found that you're getting people with families coming up to you and, you know, you're interested in their kids or their grandkids and, you know, they've named their kids after the characters and stuff like that? It must be insane.
I have met a few Shinji kids, yeah. You know, and being doing it for this long, it's like, you know, now the people that watched me when they were kids, they have their kids and, you know, and they are showing them, they're showing them the originals because they still have them. You know, the Netflix has a new dub, and that's fine, but it's not the originals. And the ones that the originals grew up with, then they're showing them that, and I think that's pretty awesome.
There'd be that dedication to how it was. You know what I mean? Like the fan base is so big and dedicated that they want their kids to see the OG. You know, I know I'm exactly the same. You know, so
yeah,
if it ain't broke. You know.
Well, and we've got stories. Man, we got stories. This is like, you know, when you're watching like, you know, Peter O'Toole and Richard Harris tell their old crazy stories. Well, we did that too. We had crazy stories in anime because we were started when people were like, what is anime? I don't know. It's AD Vision in Houston. That was pretty much it.
Do you think there needs to be a movie about voice acting? I know there's the, you know, the documentary that was made, but what about like a fictionalized version of voice actors and what they... they're crazy stories.
Well, I got to tell you. Well, so I wrote a book called "What Happens at the Con Stays at the Con," and I've been delivering that as a panel for years. And but I wrote it, and it was an audio book. Well, I just finished volume 2 and published that on Amazon. And that's a lot of. These are all stories that happened at conventions that have been, you know, some of them have been exaggerated, and some of them I instigated. But, you know, they're all real and very, very fun. So
I'm going to have to look into that, mate.
Those when I get down there.
Well, yeah. Also, I'm going to have to come and grab one. I'm all about it. I love
it. It's crazy.
Well, I mean, of course, outside of acting, you're also a bit of a love guru, you know, giving advice to dudes about cooking and dating through what you call FoodGame. Yep. Tell us a bit about that, man.
Well, you know, it's funny because all my speaking and my coaching and even my podcast are geared towards the animation, gaming, video gaming, you know, people would say the nerd community. It's like, dude, I'm a huge nerd, mostly sci-fi for me. But, you know, I would teach. I had all these panels when I go to a convention. I have 3 panels that I do, one on voice acting, one on the what happens at the con, and the other one is called Don't Kill Your Date and other cooking tips. And I've given that talk in front of thousands for over a decade. And it was about dating. It started out just as dating because I was learning to redate again because I had gone through a divorce and a bankruptcy. So I started over. And now I'm a coach. I'm an NLP certified coach. I teach people in breakthroughs, in business and life and love and all of that. And I wrote FoodGame, A Man's Ultimate Recipe for Dating Success, also on Amazon. And that one is basically how I dated. And I tell people, look, I know what I'm talking about. I dated a Playboy Playmate, a Jedi, and a Terminator. So do the math. And I married a Miss California contestant, so I know what I speak of.
You know what you're doing. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Cool. Well, Spike, it's been cool hanging out with you today, man. Thanks for taking the time. We'll see you at Supanova on the Gold Coast, and we'll for all the cool stuff at you to sign.
Absolutely.
I'll hang with you there.
Hey, man, I'd love to meet you in person when I get there. I'm staying an extra week in the Gold Coast, and I see you got a podcast. If you ever want to chat on that or whatever, reach out, man. Let's talk.
Absolutely, and I'll bring the beer.
Hell yeah.
Have a good day, brother. I'll see you soon.
All righty. Bye-bye.